Definitely. Yeah, we are going to review this really rad comic,
Rad,
KOZOR
bro. Shit was a rad.
#1.
Wait, you getting all types. Oh, let me just move out the way. Move out the way.
Was
Gotta say,
that
you
Razor?
got something to say to the people. Oh, look at my man right there.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Ooh. Hey, he looks like a dude out of He-Man, right? Like one of Skeletor's
Yeah,
henchmen.
but
Does
Buzzsaw
look
or
like,
something.
yeah, he's got one eye. This guy, but I don't think. Like, I don't know, Kevin. You tell me. Like, there's obviously going to be a KOZOR 2.
Oh,
This is the last
absolutely,
KOZOR.
absolutely. All right, just
KOZOR.
so
teaser for
my
KOZOR
first
2.
my first reaction was the back page. So the back page is kind of crazy.
That looks cool. Yeah, that looks cool
Oh,
as
it's
shit.
insane. It looks insane. The look is super polished.
You know what I realized, Kev, is that both of the Barton brothers signed the book inside there. I don't know if you told me that or if I just realized it. Either I
Oh, I did
forgot
not.
or
I
I
did
realized
not
it
notice
again.
that.
Is
I did
yours
not notice that.
signed as
Oh
well?
wow.
Yeah. Check that out. Yo, even the signatures are so fucking clean. It looks printed, bro.
Yeah, that must be like in the
Shout to
marker that
shout to the Barton brothers. And what is their YouTube channel on here? He has like how to draw comics or something like that.
howtodrawcomics.net.
Yo, I
It's
said that
I
where
correct.
think I've
How to draw
seen that
comics.
a couple of times.
that's on
Yeah, man,
YouTube.
the dudes are they're both they're dope, bro. They're just really
That's how
fucking
I found
dope.
out about them, and their videos are cool because they teach you how to draw certain things like women's faces or men's
Like,
faces or women's bodies. That's
yeah.
actually
So Anthony put me on to their channel, and I've seen a few videos with him, and I've never disagreed to what they have shown or what they said. Pretty much for the most part, I'm just like, oh shit, this dude he's just official. He's just tight all the way around, man. It's crazy. So what'd you think of the book? Did you finish it?
yeah. I read it like I kind of had to go back and read it a second time
I
because
have to read it a second time. I didn't get a
I
chance to read
feel
it a
like
second time, but I have to read it a second time.
I feel like I didn't like fully
I didn't
grasp
really
what
get
was
it. I
going
didn't get
on.
it. So
And
I'm kind of not that we're gonna get like 3 million views, but I don't want to like spoil it as I'm talking about it at the same time.
Hmm.
But I don't understand it enough to kind of I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to spoil it because I didn't fully understand it. But what it did do right off the bat was it raised some questions. Well, first of all, the look of it, I always dig like a barbarian type of medieval look, and Kozo is like wearing a monster's face over his face, right? Like he defeated his monster, and the fucking helmet is just he killed his monster. He was like, I'm gonna wear your face because I'm just that badass, right? Like that's what it
I
is.
don't know. Like I don't
Like they
even know if
mention
we
it.
see KOZOR in this book.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's no, you don't. Y'all, what's this guy's name? Baron something.
Baron.
What's his name? But they call him like Sir Baron or something Baron.
Master Baron. And like
Master
I kind
Baron.
of thought that was an interesting thing because the main character here in this issue #1 of KOZOR is named Baron, and it's just one letter off from the creators, right? Barton.
Yeah. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
They do
But
that
yeah,
a
it
lot in
raised
like
so
Star
many
Wars
questions,
stories.
bro. It raised so many questions.
Star Wars expanded universe stories in the books. They'll always like kind of take a name that you're familiar with, remove one letter or add one letter, and that's
Yeah,
kind of they roll
makes
with that.
sense.
So
Yeah, it makes sense.
that was interesting to kind of
That does make
feel that
sense.
out here.
Yeah, man, I mean, just at first glance of the artwork itself is crazy, bro. Like it's crazy. It is so technically sound. It's infuriating. It's
Why? You're
infuriating,
just
bro.
as good,
It's like
Kev.
it's like
You're just as good, dude.
I mean, bro, like this is extra. It's it's ridiculously polished, man. The amount of lines in here is insanity, bro. Like I'm looking at this one little panel of like a toothless man yelling, like just a couple of teeth missing,
Hmm.
and it's at least 3,487 lines in that one little
Yeah.
panel, and that's just one out of 5 panels. You know what I mean? It's crazy, and I think these two they achieved kind of like one of my goals where I want to have heavy blacks, but at the same time have bright accents and not have them
Hmm.
clash. That's not
Hmm.
easy to do, man. It's not easy to have heavy blacks, dark darks, and bright brights, and not inhabit like they
In
work.
your face.
They marry well. You know what I mean? Like they have these
Yeah.
bright greens and these bright oranges on these dark purples, blues, and blacks, and it works. Nothing is screaming at you. Nothing screaming at you. The composition of every page is like painterly, man. Like you can legit Like you can legit put a page in the mirror and just see the balance of it. You know what I mean? I was looking at pages upside down. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like,
But
what
so
is this, man?
there's a shit ton of layering then, I bet.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane. But like I was telling Anthony, when I first saw it, I was always saying that like these dudes, you can tell are just like mastered the art of like drawing a comic book. You know what I'm saying? Like they down to the every technique is in here. You know what I mean? But it's to the point where I kind of want to. It just made me curious as an artist to see what they do if they're not doing a comic book. Just like what are they doing out of their own head, like not comic book related.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you could get this technical with a comic book, like what else are they getting technical with? Because this is crazy.
Well, I don't know if you know,
story
Kev,
wise,
the whole book was like redone over the like. There was a composition down and a colors and inks and pencils down for KOZOR book, and then I think a couple of years went by, and then Clayton, went in and redid the pencils, redid the inks, I think, and then Korey redid the colors. So it was like a book first, and then a couple years went by, and then they redid all the art and then released it because it, I guess they saw a lot of room for improvement. And on some videos they show that there are, like, let's say a female body, and in the revision it gets a lot better.
Wow.
So
the female bodies are really well done. They're not like it's not like hypersexualized. It's not like extra curvy and things like it's just really like the female bodies just look strong, athletic. It just looks like a female body. You know what I mean? Like they're not trying to make them extra sexy and in your face. It just is what it is. It's just well done. It's crazy, man. Like this is crazy. Like, come on, man. Look at this. Like, like you stare at this chick too long and you get your head chopped off.
I like the use of the swords too, along with like all the
or you get knocked in the back of the head, right?
So, you know
like
what?
Every chick has a sword. It's pretty cool.
So, what did you think of the story? The story, I didn't, like I said, like I was reading it, and then I like it all seemed like a dream at one point. Like it started out with a dream, but then I'm like, is it still a dream at one point when things went a little left and you saw the Baron looking really crazy at one point? You're like, wait a minute, like what just happened here? And then it goes off following the woman, and like she's like taking you to the end of the book. Then you go to like the three-eyed, what was he called? The three-eyed what? But at first it starts off he's looking for the faceless people.
The three-eyed monster.
And then there's like a three-eyed demon or something like that. Just so I can find it.
It's like the main demon.
Yeah, I should have taken notes.
Magaroth or something like that.
Yeah, the names are on Magator or something like that.
Yeah.
No.
So I think like man. when you hear those dream, or when you see those dream sequences, I think that was like that. What's the name of the bad guy?
Magator. I think it's Magator.
Magator. He is.
Hope I'm not butchering that.
He is speaking through, like he's speaking to everybody, because they say toward the end that well, I don't know if I want to give the spoiler away, but don't give the spoiler. There's like communication happening between the bad guy and like people who he wants to communicate with, even though he's not really around. And so those sequences, I guess, that are like that communication, they seem like a dream to the characters, but it's like really a medieval like Freddy and shit. Yeah, exactly. It's like a Freddy Krueger type of thing going on. I think he's like, far away, or he's in another realm or something, and he's kind of communicating. That's like his one way to get to people, is to communicate, they had mentioned. So there's all these like fantasy type creatures like orcs, and there's the different like winged siren women, and those reminded me of the Bram Stoker's Dracula, like the women that kind of crawl around Keanu Reeves and stuff like that. Like, as from coming from somebody who is like a comic book artist as well, I'm really looking at the art first, and maybe that's why I go through the story multiple times, because I'm not really like, I'm more of a comic book, I'm a fan of the art, so I'm really looking.
I got stuck on every page as well, like, and I had to go back, like, wait, like, what's happening? Because I would like dive in visually, like, what the fuck, look at all this cross hatching.
Yeah,
Like,
because like
So
the
y'all,
first for me, I noticed that. I noticed the
so
cross hatching, the use of black that we appreciate for
it's
sure. Like
crazy.
the use of a lot of black on the page, which is something we struggle with adding to our, or using in our work as well. So that was nice to see. And then, like you had mentioned, the great colors that are on top of all
Yeah, the
that.
coloring
So
is sick.
yeah, so like it just makes everything pop. And that was one of the things that Korey, one of the two brothers there, actually did the coloring. And they would constantly show the the progress on their live streams and stuff, and it was always just looking so great. So to see it printed, and the printing is really really nice as well.
The print is nice. It doesn't hold fingerprints either. Like, it's a real matte and really nice matte finish. I was happy to see that too. Because sometimes, if you hold the book too long, it gets kind of sweaty. And you can leave a thumbprint, and your thumbprint can lift up some ink. This hasn't happened at all. Doesn't happen at all.
so you
It's
guys were
amazing.
really just breaking each page down and really
It's
looking at
crazy.
dissecting every inch of the pages, huh?
Yeah, man. It visually it flows really nice. Story wise, it like I said before, it does what I like a story to do. It kind of makes you ask questions about it, and it introduces the world that they're kind of living in. And I feel like I got a good feel for the world. I could even, like, the costume designs are crazy. The costumes are nuts, right? Like, I get it. I don't really get everybody's position in the story, and like people come and go. Like I was really starting to dig the orc. I was like, this orc is dope, and then boom,
then he's gone in a
that big
panel.
fucking
Yeah,
bird came out and was like, fuck your orc. Fuck your orc. It was crazy, man. It got crazy.
yeah. There's even
then,
like one kind of main character who I think dies, but it was hard. That was the one
Looked like
part of the
Steppenwolf.
story that I couldn't completely get of what like what happened, because he seemed like in like one of the movies where they shrivel up, it almost seemed like he'd shriveled up, but I wasn't exactly sure why. So that was just a one like story thing,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When things like switched up, you're like, wait, what the hell just happened? Like, he looked like he looked like he had those basilisks on him, those Darth Bane fucking
Orbs,
things on him. Shit, whatever the hell it was called. Not obelisks.
Yeah. And I
I
couldn't
don't
tell.
know,
I was
man.
like, oh, did he get like did they like chain him up or something? But then I noticed no, he wore
See,
chains, so that was
but
already there. The chains were there
but
already. So I don't know
my
how they got
thing. So again, that what I was thinking like that's the real world, and the whole thing is like this person just just like fucking with his head the whole time. Like, that's how I took it on first read. Like, that guy just been there the whole time, fucked up. And it's just they're just like torturing him mentally. Like, he's in this mental
that
game.
might
Like,
make sense. Yeah, especially the way like it kicks off on the first
hallucination.
page where he's like hearing his daughter
I
or
might be,
something.
yeah, man. Yeah, it might be like a I don't know, man. It's like a psycho thriller. It's crazy. But
Like
like,
or maybe kind of like a Beautiful Mind. You
it's
ever
yeah,
seen that?
you don't
because
know.
it's
You don't
something
know.
below this, like below the, like when I first saw it, I'm thinking, oh, this is like a fantasy epic type of thing, but there's this demonic monster thing going on at the same time
Straight
with this, like,
hellish.
magic, and I guess it's like magic. I don't know, stuff like that going on. So I
Yeah.
didn't really know
It's
that
very like
looking at, but then once we,
Conan-ish. It's
yeah,
really
like
like it's like, remember how Conan had some magic and lore to it,
right,
and then you just had this tough barbarian just kicking ass.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that, and Lord of the Rings at the same time. Like,
maybe like Game
if
of Thrones, how people keep
yeah,
like kind of coming and
if
going and dying.
so it's a little
Frodo was in the
piece of
background
everything.
walking, I'll be like, okay, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. Like, it's
Uh,
yeah. But going back to the technical shit though, right? Page 1, panel 1. I was stuck for a little while because he has this demon talking through like the clouds or the air or something like that. And it was, hold on, let me pull this up. And you see it, you hear it, you can kind of hear the wind. You heard, like, I could hear the
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's crazy. Like, look at this, Mundo, look at this.
Yeah, well,
Can you make that out?
they did a lot. Like, if you
wow.
pan to the bottom of the page
Look
there,
at that,
Well,
bro.
you
like
know,
like they drew in the wind. Or
Yeah,
they
you know what
drew
that
in, like,
reminds me of?
you can hear it, bro. You can hear it.
Do you remember some of the episodes in the, I think it's either Uncanny X-Men or the X-Men comic books, where Mojo was kind of
yeah,
like that.
Mojo.
got some
Yeah.
Mojo
Mojo, he
vibes.
came in as,
Yeah.
kind of like
That was good.
like the demon that got into everybody's heads, and he was like
Yeah.
fucking everybody up, right? The X-Men.
Right. I,
And
I
some
was
of them.
actually
It's pretty sick.
thinking Mojo. Like when I first opened this, I don't know if it was Kevin or a different one of my friends was asking me asking me about it, and I said, oh, it's starting to look like X-Men a little to me. That's actually exactly what I said, because there was like yeah, like
How
and like
funny we think
Mojo came
alike.
to mind.
It's funny how
Some
we think alike.
monster.
It's insane, man. The polish is crazy. It's really
It
nuts.
looks crazy, dude. Though I mean, just what you held up, it was like, oh shit,
Really, really, really insane.
that's
I was about
pretty
to
Kind of
say
like the
shiny,
way,
something
man.
else.
like
Oh,
I think this orc is like he's like standing like a
that orc
superhero.
is he's the shit.
Yeah, I
Everybody
mean,
looks
look at
That's
that.
what
strong.
he
Everybody
is.
looks tough. And then like
Yeah,
things
and
happen and
like
you're like,
if you
wait.
really look close at that, you'll see what
So,
Kevin's talking about with all
so
the
they look strong,
cross
but they're
hatching.
really weak.
No, I don't.
No,
I
no,
mean, I
they're
wouldn't say they're weak.
strong.
I'll just think. I think if I'm trying to figure out the intention behind every panel, I'm gonna say everybody looks super strong and capable for a reason, just to kind of illustrate how harsh this world is. Because some of them go
Mm,
out like quick, and you're like, oh, you're like you're reading,
gotcha.
things happen suddenly. You're like, oh, like you're shocked. Like, no, this dude. I thought this dude was
Like
gonna
that's
be a
how
hero. You're trying to
badass
figure out who
that
the hero
monster
is.
is, or
Right.
Yeah, man. And then like how we're always trying to figure out how to foreshadow certain things. So
Yeah.
when I'm reading someone else's book, I'm kind of looking for like some type of foreshadowing or some type of clues. And I felt like in the first page, third panel, I felt like this might have been a clue to something, because this is the Baron's profile next to the demon's profile, and you see they kind of similar. So I'm like,
Oh,
is the
yeah,
Baron
yeah.
and the demon connected, or was the Baron like the younger self, and the demon the older one? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm digging, but that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're reading a new book.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane. I mean, I fully support it. I was happy with it. I dug it, man. I really did dig it.
I
But
feel like
again,
KOZOR 2 can go in any direction.
any direction. It could go anywhere. It could, like, KOZOR 2 could open in 2023 with somebody waking up from another dream, and you'd be like, oh shit, like this is
Yeah.
like a dream in a dream. Like, what is this?
In that sense, it's like the original Star Wars, where it's like after the first movie, like it really could have gone anywhere, and then they like where they go in
Mhm.
Empire Strikes Back is like somewhere nobody could have ever predicted that at the time. It seems like the same open-ended thing, but maybe even open to new
Crazy.
characters, because a lot of these characters are no longer there.
But the Chief Baron, he's a beast, bro.
Beesh.
He's a beast. But yeah, I don't have a full grasp of the story yet. I'm gonna have to live with it for a little bit, figure out some things. And
I felt like
just
there was some parallels to Darth Bane, like you were
kind of, yeah, I
playing
could
with
kind
some
of
of
see
the
that.
armor. I mean, at least in the personality
Mhm,
of that character.
mhm. But this dude is wearing like an orc's face over his own face, which is crazy if you think about it. Like, imagine you kill an orc and you skin its face off and put it
Get
over your
his
face.
skull off or
This is
something.
gonna be my fucking helmet, just to show his fucking orc friends that don't
Yeah.
even look at me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they talk about the Baron as if he's a vicious fighter. Remember, he was like, oh, he bashed his face in with his axe, and they were like, what? Like, did he? When did he do that? And like they're talking about him like he's just this no nonsense person. And his crew looks mean as fuck. Like we said, they all look mean as hell. They all look mean and just crazy. They look powerful, bro.
Yeah,
And
everybody
even
looks
even
powerful in it.
and they got that little booger creature that goes ribbit ribbit the whole fucking
That's
movie. The
yeah,
whole
that
fucking
kind of threw me too. I was like, is this? I saw him in the panel because, like you said, we're both looking for
like,
stuff. Like I'm just looking at, and they show him his first like
yeah.
review. I guess was pretty tiny, and I was like, what is that? Is that a doll or what is sitting there?
What is it?
And then I
It's like a
realized that
snarf.
it's a character. It's somebody. It's Gort or some character. So I was
It's
like, oh.
wild.
And then
Wild.
I have to like look at it twice and think, oh well, yeah, it's because it's like a fantasy world where there's orcs and there's winged people and there's monsters, so there's every kind of creature. And they talk about like what the bad guy appears as, like
Yeah,
kind of like a goat with yellow eyes. It reminded me of the Witch movie a little bit.
I love that movie. Yeah, man. So like another thing that they did, which I really liked, was they I guess their writing style, they'll describe what a goal is, and then they kind of like, it's like, oh, they almost invite you to envision it, and then they show you it later. You know what I mean? So like with the faceless people, remember they were saying he's on a hunt for faceless for the faceless monster or something like that.
Mhm.
So you like faceless. So I'm thinking like just like I don't know, like a hooded creature or something, like like a smooth no face thing. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's faceless. Like Mundo, when you hear somebody's looking for something faceless, like you have an image of that in your head, right? But then when you
Yeah,
see
kind
it,
of like
you're like,
what was it
huh,
with the
this
Squid
is what it
Games? You
looks.
remember?
This is it here.
You
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
like this?
you thinking like a smooth mask type of thing.
Yeah,
That's what I
like the
thought.
Squid
That's what I
Games.
thought.
You know how they had their mask on? You couldn't
Yeah,
see the
man.
face, but
That's
they
kind
could
of like
see
what I
through
was
the
thinking.
mask.
Yeah, but this is what they meant. Look at this faceless creature here. It's fucking insane, bro. Look at that. That's faceless.
Yeah, that is cool shit though. He looks
Oh,
like
see, I kind of took that as like
he looks
his
like
face was
Gollum. He
ripped
looks like
off.
Gollum with his face ripped off, dude.
Yeah, like
It
I
just
took
looks
it
like
as
a
his
big
face was
mouth, no
ripped
face.
off.
I don't know. I don't know if it's cut off. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't have the answers because it looks like teeth in there. It looks like
Oh, that's
like
what I
this
say.
thing
Yeah,
is
some
just
of
a
the
mouth.
jaw is still there.
Gollum with his face ripped off because he talked too much. Shut the fuck up.
Yo, it's crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. It's crazy.
It
And
is
then
crazy though. That is crazy.
things jumped off when they make it through these woods, and then the orc is like, be careful, Baron. And he's like, yo, leave me alone, man. Like I know what I'm doing. And then this big fucking monstrous raven or whatever the hell it is just comes through and just does shit you can't unsee. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh man, it's
Those
just
birds are
fucked up.
dangerous.
And then the detail, it's a lot, bro. Like just look at this detail right here. Like, what is that, bro? It's all this shit in his skin. But look at the detail, bro.
That is insane.
It's crazy.
Was that
Doesn't
like
make
eyes
sense.
It's
like
in the
in this man's
strands of
body. That's
muscle?
this man. That's his chest, and he just got all this gook in his body. You know what I'm saying? No spoilers, but it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
just,
like I really like the coloring of the page where there was like that woman drawn very, very nicely with the smooth lines of only the outline of the body, and then the shape took place with the coloring. She was kind of a green or a blue woman, and the entire form was just really just done with the color. The outline was just quite perfect though. That was really nice.
this.
Yeah, the purple girl there. Look, it's just like kind of an outline where her body
Yeah,
is.
not too much
The
line work.
coloring makes it three-dimensional, right? The coloring,
Yeah,
you can
color
see the
was
roundness.
Yo, so
of
you know
everything.
what?
It's a purple
There's like
Peter reader.
there's this one moment in coloring, bro, that like I got stuck on too, and it's just like it's a booty cheek, bro. And I know you're thinking, oh, he's stuck. Of course, he's stuck on a booty cheek. But no. It's like it's the same thing. It's like a silhouette, nice line work, but then they just shaded like this little triangular fucking shape underneath
Yes,
the booty cheek, and I was like, oh,
I
that
know
fucking
I know
works
which panel you're
perfect.
talking about.
It's one of the two girls
That
he
worked
woke
out
up with.
really nicely too. And
It's
I
perfect.
realized when looking at that panel that's like something I need to work on with
Some
my
some
gradients and
mastery
my
there, bro.
color,
Some
which
mastery.
is like that smooth gradient, especially if it was like a woman's
I'm gonna find it right now.
behind or leg, because it's different than clothes, which is like more forgiving for like shaky lines or like bad
Yeah, right here.
gradient. But on a
This
woman's body,
right here. Hold on.
it's got to
This right
be.
here.
Look how perfect the gradient is.
You see that right there? The shadow, that line, that little subtle line right there, defining the that's perfect, bro. It's just a difference in color,
He's
bro.
admiring
I
the
was like,
crack. He's admiring the crack.
it's not.
That's
Yo,
the type of things
it's
we
like a
look
little
at.
side hit, bro. It's sick. I was like, wait. This is, you know why? Because a word bubble is over, right? So you're reading the word, so you kind of glance over. You're like, oh, this is crazy.
I also
Like,
noticed
that
the
little moment is
striations in like
crazy.
every man's chest.
Every man's chest and the abs
was
and
like
back is insane. It's
striated, like
insane.
as if you just got off the bench.
So let me ask you guys this, okay? Now, with different lines drawn and so forth. So, and of course, anatomy plays a big part in drawing and so forth, characters when defining bodies and so forth. But is there specific terms when you're drawing specific lines? Like, like you were saying, Kev, like the curvature of the body here, but is there any terms for like the lines that define both
No,
the not only the body but the
The
part of the other
particular
scene as well.
lines go
I
around
think
the
You
hips.
know, you
yeah,
because
yeah,
you have your horizontal lines, you have your
yeah.
perpendicular lines,
Not really,
then you
not
have your
really.
curved lines,
It's just
but you
generally
know,
speaking.
specific angles and so forth.
Generally speaking, it's like you want to know your light source and the line. Like say the light is hitting from here, and I'm drawing
Mm-hmm.
this hand here. I'm gonna draw these lines a little thinner than I'm gonna draw the backside lines because this side is getting all the shadow. You know what I mean? And then like
Mm-hmm.
I might not draw this line here because like just like that cheek, right? I might not draw that line in between the pinky and the ring finger. I might just color it different. I might just color that different and not draw a line. Let the difference in color define that line in between the pinky and the ring finger. Well, that's what I'm gonna do now. Now that I've seen it, and then if I'm do the Barton trick now and shit. You know what I mean? So now no, but seriously, now like we got some we're doing our own thing now. There's like a certain like you got to be brave enough to just take these chances because like as artists you just second guess everything. You're like, no, it doesn't look good enough. The reader's not going to see that. They're not going to interpret it that way. They're going to lose it. They're not going to miss this. They're going to do that. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, man, it works. Like it works. Even their trees have fucking a lot going on in it, bro. It is insane. Like when something makes an impact, the speed lines around it, what kind of the speed lines? You know how I could get kind of crazy with speed lines, but I'm
I
not
like the
subtle with
speed
them.
lines too. I noticed that.
Yeah, they're really subtle, but they work. You kind of see them without seeing them, which is that's hard, man. It's hard to do.
I also noticed
It's
it in
really
like
fucking hard to
smaller
do.
panels here, which we don't really do in our book. Like to do use those speed lines, at least not yet in like a small
Mm-hmm.
panel, but they've done that a bunch of times.
Yeah, man.
Makes
No
it
joke.
look pretty cool. Makes it adds more black, makes it look more impactful.
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, the orc and the bird scene, the two panels back to back, when the bird's behind the orc, and then the next panel, that little transition is nuts. And you can kind of see the speed. It's crazy. I don't want to spoil anymore, but it's good. It's a good scene. They kind of did capture like a motion picture feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
As
think
far
so. Bringing the
as far as
Conan
like
analogy in was a good one for this. I think they've even said that.
who they said it
That's
themselves.
good.
Yeah, I think they've
It's
even said
Nice,
interesting.
nice.
the Barton brothers. It's like Conan.
Yeah, but I need answers, man. So like when we turn the page and you see the Baron looking kind of crazy, then you see the women, and then like that whole other person comes out, looks like a witch, and he's like telling another crazy story, and it's like you're like what the fuck just happened? It's like you gotta
Yeah.
kind of like clear your mind, you gotta kind of like clear your head, shake it off a little bit, and then really dive in and read it to keep up. It gets nutty,
Yeah,
man.
it's like
It
a
gets
couple
nutty.
different stories are told toward the end. It's almost like a couple little bonus
Yeah,
parts of the story are told.
but yeah, overall, I'm definitely a fan, man. I'm in. Like I'm in. Definitely got to get two KOZOR by the Barton brothers, Korey and Clayton. Yeah, Anthony's been following this guy for a while. He put me onto it, I think, a few months back. Matter of fact, you were playing his videos like when we would start when we were working on Albatross a few days. You would just like just
Oh
play his
yeah.
whole. You played the one where he was breaking down the anatomy of like women figures and all that. It was cool. It was cool. Then you played another one where he was interviewing. I forgot the guy's name. The guy that did the he was commissioned to do a comic book in a weekend. And he did it. Remember, he was like,
Oh
I
yeah.
was using Sharpies. I was using whatever the fuck I had. I had a weekend. We were like, a weekend. We were like, a weekend? Like, what do you mean a weekend? No, like, is he being literal?
Yeah, this campaign has closed, but I'm sure that there will be more
KOZOR 2,
available
yeah.
when
Keep an eye
KOZOR
out for
2
KOZOR
comes
2.
out. So I'll be in line for KOZOR 2.
Yeah, I'll support
Absolutely.
that one.
Check
I'll definitely
on,
support that one.
they probably have a website. If you look up KOZOR, just check Indiegogo. That's where our comic is. Our comic Albatross Junction is released on Indiegogo, issue number 3, up to issue number 3. So go there and check out Albatross Junction issues 1, 2, and 3 right now, available on Indiegogo for a limited time. Mundo, were you trying to say something?
No, he was
No,
just
I just
echoing
said
your
I
right now.
said right now. I was like helping
Oh.
you out. You've been like right now, right now.
Yeah, he was like, right now, god damn it.
It's
Yeah,
a sci-fi story based in the future on a world without a sun. So it's a tale of survival. It's got a lot of creatures in it, monsters, aliens, war, soldiers, stuff like that going on in it. Sci-fi, technology.
Albatross Junction. What an incredible book. I'd like to give this my highest recommendation. Albatross Junction by Anthony and Kevin. One of the finest books that Indie Comics has ever produced. I do want to recommend Albatross Junction with all my heart. This is really spectacular. And there's a sketch inside of me being a big fat slob. Cyberfrog over my shoulder, some pie, and it looks like looming death. There's death looming over me here. You guys, I mean, I'll do this anyway. I mean, I will promote your comics. If they look great like that one actually does look, I'd be happy to promote your comics. And I did also get a whole big stack of trading cards. These guys, Andrea went through these and was like, these are beautiful. Why don't your trading cards look this good? And I was like, there are trading cards. We're doing them together. You think you're putting me down. You're putting us down. This is a group effort, sweetheart, and don't you forget it. So good stuff. The book is called Albatross Junction. And I do want to promote that today. Hello, everyone. Hello in the chat.